Most people think that if the government owes them money, someone will eventually send them a letter. But the reality is very different. Every year, billions of dollars in federal and state benefits go unclaimed, not because people aren't eligible, but because they never realize those programs exist or assume they won't qualify. If you're 60 or older, approaching retirement, or helping a parent navigate retirement, this directly affects you. Today's video isn't about loopholes or financial hacks. It's about understanding benefits that were created to help eligible Americans and learning how to determine whether they apply to your situation. Once you see how these programs work together, you'll understand why this matters more than most people realize. One of the biggest misconceptions about retirement is that Social Security is the only financial support available after you stop working. For many households, that's simply not true. Retirement income often comes from multiple sources: Social Security, Medicare-related savings, tax benefits, state assistance programs, utility assistance, and other resources designed to reduce everyday expenses. The challenge isn't that these programs don't exist. The challenge is that they're administered by different agencies, each with its own eligibility rules and application process. No single office automatically signs you up for everything. That's why the first step isn't asking, how much money can I get? The better question is, which programs were designed for someone in my situation? That small shift in thinking can make a meaningful difference over the course of retirement. Let's begin with supplemental security income, commonly called SSI. Many people confuse SSI with Social Security retirement benefits, but they're separate programs. SSI is intended for people with limited income and limited resources. If you've always assumed your retirement check automatically disqualifies you, don't make that assumption without checking. Eligibility depends on several factors, and for some individuals, SSI can provide additional monthly support. The second benefit many families overlook is Social Security survivor and spousal benefits. If you've lost a spouse, were married for many years, or are divorced after a long marriage, your options may be broader than you realize. In some situations, survivors or divorced spouses may qualify for benefits based on a spouse's earnings record, subject to Social Security rules. These decisions can have a lasting impact on retirement income, so they're worth reviewing carefully rather than relying on assumptions. Another area that deserves attention is food assistance. Programs like SNAP aren't only for younger families or people experiencing unemployment. Older adults with modest incomes may also qualify, and the rules for seniors can differ from those for other households. Medical expenses, housing costs, and household size can all influence eligibility. If grocery prices have become one of the biggest pressures in your monthly budget, it's worth exploring whether assistance is available. Many states also offer their own supplemental programs for older adults. Depending on where you live, there may be assistance with cash benefits, prescription medications, transportation, property taxes, or utility bills. These aren't federal programs, so the broad availability varies significantly by state. That's one reason so many people miss them. Search nationally when the answer is actually found through their own state's Aging or Human Services Department. Taxes are another area where retirees sometimes leave money on the table. As retirement income changes, your tax situation changes too. Depending on your age, income sources, filing status, and medical expenses, there may be deductions or credits that reduce your tax liability. The important point isn't memorizing every tax rule, it's making sure your return reflects your current stage of life rather than being prepared exactly the same way it was 10 years ago. Now here's the part almost no one talks about. Many retirees focus entirely on increasing income while overlooking opportunities to reduce expenses. Sometimes saving money produces the same result as earning more. Imagine reducing healthcare costs, lowering prescription expenses, decreasing utility bills, and receiving property tax relief. Together, those savings can significantly improve monthly cash flow without increasing taxable income. This is where Medicare savings programs become especially important. Many people assume that once they're enrolled in Medicare, that's the end of the conversation. In reality, some individuals with limited income may qualify for programs that help pay Medicare-related costs. Others may qualify for Extra Help, a program that reduces prescription drug expenses for eligible beneficiaries. Healthcare is often one of the largest retirement expenses, so understanding these programs can make a meaningful difference. Over time, energy assistance is another example. Heating and cooling costs can place tremendous pressure on a fixed income, especially during extreme weather. Federal and state energy assistance programs exist specifically to help qualifying households manage these costs. Some communities also provide weatherization assistance that improves energy efficiency, helping reduce future utility bills rather than simply covering one payment. Homeowners should also investigate whether their state or local government offers property tax relief for seniors. Depending on where you live, there may be exemptions, assessment freezes, credits, or other forms of assistance designed to make homeownership more affordable during retirement. Because these programs are local, many homeowners never hear about them unless they ask. For families caring for an aging parent, Medicaid long-term care planning deserves attention as well. Long-term care is one of the largest financial risks facing retirees. Eligibility rules are complex and vary by state, but understanding the basics before a crisis occurs can provide more options than waiting until care becomes immediately necessary. There are even smaller programs that can quietly improve your monthly budget. Discounted phone or internet service, transportation assistance, nutrition programs, and local senior services may not seem dramatic individually, but together they can reduce recurring expenses month after month. Here's the difference between two households entering retirement. The first household assumes that retirement is simply about collecting Social Security and hoping expenses stay manageable. They rarely review benefits, never update their financial plan, and only seek information after a problem appears. The second household treats retirement as an ongoing financial strategy. Every year they review their Social Security record, compare Medicare coverage, evaluate prescription plans, review tax opportunities, and check whether any new state or local programs have become available. They don't necessarily have higher incomes, they simply make informed decisions consistently. Over time, those small decisions compound. If you're approaching age 62, take time to understand how claiming age affects your retirement benefit. If you're already receiving Social Security, review your online account periodically to make sure your personal information is current. If you're enrolled in Medicare, compare your coverage during open enrollment instead of assuming last year's plan is still your best option. If you're helping a parent manage retirement, organize important documents, benefit letters, and healthcare information in one secure location. And if you haven't contacted your local area agency on aging, consider doing so. These organizations connect older adults with services that many people never discover on their own. Perhaps the most important action you can take this week is to make a checklist instead of trying to remember everything. Review your Social Security account, confirm your Medicare coverage, ask whether you qualify for assistance programs, review your tax situation before filing season, check your state's official aging services website. One afternoon of preparation can prevent years of missed opportunities. Financial security in retirement rarely depends on one dramatic decision. It's usually the result of dozens of small, informed choices made consistently over time. The households that experience the most confidence aren't always the wealthiest. They're often the ones who stay informed, ask questions, and review their plans regularly instead of assuming nothing has changed. Retirement isn't about chasing every program available. It's about understanding which ones genuinely fit your circumstances and using them wisely. Government programs are designed with eligibility rules for a reason. If you qualify, there's nothing wrong with taking advantage of benefits that exist to support you. If you don't qualify today, knowing how these programs work may help you or someone you care about in the future. I'd like to leave you with one question. If you had 1 hour this week to improve your financial future, which would have the bigger impact? Trying to earn a little more income, or making sure you're not overlooking benefits, savings, or opportunities you already qualify for? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoy clear, practical explanations about Social Security, retirement planning, taxes, and personal finance, consider subscribing. The rules and opportunities change over time, and staying informed is one of the most valuable investments you can make in your financial future.